Hello, hello. Boy, it's hard to adjust. It really is. I spent a week out there in Acapulco. I gotta tell you, it was fantastic. A lot of great speakers. A lot of stuff for me to talk about here real soon. But the one that I want to throw up here, because a lot of people have been asking, very, very curious, and before I forget all the great little details of my dog, she misses me so much too, of sitting with the ayahuasca, I figured that I should go ahead and just go up here and give you, you know, uh, the details. I am working on a video, but it's gonna take a while. I got a couple people that I set with that probably are gonna be forever my friends, true friends, because of the experience, the journey that we went through. I was thinking that I was gonna end up just sitting with the ayahuasca for one day, but it was so amazing that while I was there, I took the opportunity to do it twice. It's very spiritual, not just the plant medicine, but the ceremony that went along with it. It was called the hummingbird ceremony. I gotta tell you, when I first went into everything, I was watching some videos before I took off for the trip, and I was a little bit nervous. I was a little bit scared, but I knew that I wanted to do this uh, because, like everything else, my life is a journey. And I had a lot of healing that I wanted to do. I still have a lot of healing. I have a lot of research. I have a lot of things that I want to explore, in this life. And the ayahuasca was one of the great opportunities that a lot of people just will never get to do the way that I did it. So let me go ahead and start off. There's a lot of anticipation. There's a couple days that I was in Acapulco, just waiting for it to happen. I do have some videos, like I said, and I do have some clips, and my friends are going to give me their clips, and I'm going to put it together. I'm going to make a really great video, for everybody to be entertained by more often than not, because the details are going to happen in this video. So yeah, I sat with the ayahuasca, and it was done with real shaman in the jungle of Acapulco. It was an amazing place, amazing. There was mattresses and hammocks and beds everywhere. There's a swimming pool, everybody got their own room, so you could go back to after the ceremony, but nobody's going right back there. What's really cool is that, the shaman were there to guide you through this experience, this journey, the entire way. You were supervised, and I couldn't feel more safe in the situation that was happening. Anyway, so from the beginning, the first thing that happens is they bring you over to a couple shamans. They ask you, what are your intentions? What do you want from this journey? What are you expecting to get? For me, it was out-of-body experience. I wanted to see the spiritual side of the world. I've always been more into psychedelics than anything. I don't smoke trees. I don't do anything else. I've got my little thing that I'm working on. It's been a problem for me. Everybody has an issue. It's, alcohol. Time to time I get a little stupid on it. I know it's fucking pure poison, but like everybody, you've got things that you gotta work on. Anyway, I told them my intentions, to be an out-of-body experience. I wanted to see whatever could be seen on a different plane. So they do that, and, about 7:30, 8 o'clock, it was somewhere in there, everybody gets called in to set for the ceremony with the shamans. Now, this was called the hummingbird ceremony. Maybe there's some other ways that the ceremony is conducted, but this is the way that I did it, and it was fantastic. So you go into the room, and they got everything set up for you. You got your little mat, with your name in front of it. You got a bucket with a little bit of water in it for obvious reasons. And, you sit in there, and the first thing that happens is, they go over everything. And now, I do not have any footage or faces of anybody other than myself and my two friends who agreed that we would all be videotaped. out of respect for people that are going to be there that, you know, have jobs and don't want to be caught up on some video with their boss and stuff, I totally respected that. And there was no video footage inside of the ceremony tent. It was a giant tent made out of grass, coconut leaves for the roof. I mean, it was the real deal. It was 100% the real deal. So they tell you, since you haven't sat with the ayahuasca yet. Now, there was like about 8 people that I sat with the first time, right? 8 people. 2 of them became very close friends of mine, and when the actual video comes out of the whole thing, I will disclose, you know, the other 2 people that I sat with. But until they actually give me their video footage, I'm not going to agree to say anything about them in this video. I'm just going to talk about myself. So you have the shaman up there. There was 3 of them. They were doing all the singing, but they started off. They told you, you know, since we were all beginners, we all sat with the ayahuasca for the first time in this group. There was 8 of us, by the way. They were going to give us, you know, a small dose. They would give us a dose later if, you know, we felt that we could still do it, and, you know, they thought that we were okay. You know, there was 2 things that stick in my head that I think were extremely fucking hilarious. One is that the shaman says, never trust a fart on ayahuasca. Okay, so if you don't know about ayahuasca, it could come out either end. So him saying that was actually pretty funny. It was, you know, don't ever trust the fart on ayahuasca. We all started laughing. You know, it was pretty hilarious, but it's the truth. If you felt like you had a fart, get out of the ceremony room. If you needed to get a shaman to help you to walk, because it gets pretty crazy on the ayahuasca, you know, they'll take you to the bathrooms. The bathrooms were everywhere on the outside. They pointed out everywhere. And then, you know, the bucket was going to be your best friend. Ceremony begins, and they have this stuff. It's, you know, it's each one represents a different spirit. And they put it in this pipe, and it's got 2 nostril things coming out. It's made out of wood. And, you know, they come around with that first. They put it in there, and they shoot up your nose. You know, so you take a deep breath, you put your tongue on the top of the roof of your mouth, and they shoot this up your nose, and my eyes were watering. I gotta tell you, it gave me a pretty cool buzz right away, but this was supposed to balance out the ayahuasca and keep you grounded. So, did that, and then, you know, the half. I didn't even do a full cup the first night. I did a half, and, you know, once they give you your tea, the lights go off, pitch dark, quiet, silence for 45 minutes, because that's how long it takes to kick in. And then, you know, just right away, I mean, we were in the dark the whole time in the ceremony room. The shaman starts to sing. They both start to sing. It's fantastic. It's just the language that they were speaking, whatever it was, and I don't really know because it wasn't Spanish. Definitely, you know, ancient, and it just kind of took me. It was, I mean, I laid down on my thing. You know, I didn't realize that I passed out, but you know, my companions on the journey, they told me the next day, man, you were out. But that was another one of the rules, right? Is that you don't mess with your neighbor when they're sitting with the ayahuasca. You don't touch them. You don't talk to them. You just, everybody does their own thing. Out of respect for everybody else, everybody does their own thing. So, you know, they didn't try and wake me up or anything like that. And while I was sleeping, you know, they gave the other half a dose of the tea to everybody. I missed it. I totally missed it. And when I came back, right, and the music was still going, because they woke me up, my shaman, because not only do they sing out loud to the entire group, they bring you up, you know, in front of the shaman, because they have mats up there, and they sing to you individually. And that was just the vibrations, you know, coming across your body. It was just really awesome to go through that. And then, you know, once the ceremony's over, a candle goes out in the middle of the room, and there's light, and they're still singing. You know, we kind of wandered around. It's pretty awesome. I mean, once I show you the video footage of this place, this magical place that I was at, you'll see that there was no other place that you could actually ever want to do something like this. So, they kind of tell you that, you know, don't wander off too far, kind of just stay on the grass, and if you're out there too long or they feel concerned, they're going to come out, they're going to get you, and they're going to bring you back in the ceremony room. Just go with them, because they're helping you through this experience. And this was their first night, so we're really all just, learning it. For me, I was pretty messed up. I didn't have, quite the experience I wanted the first time, even though it was still fantastic. I mean, the overall body experience itself was amazing. It was like mushrooms amplified by like 20. You know what I mean? It was pretty awesome. And my buddies and everybody, they were they were really out there. They got the other half a dose, and whew, I just had to. I was there, but I wasn't right where they were. Which I was a little bit discouraged. And that was kind of the reason that I wanted to go to the second day, because I don't know what it was, the music or the ayahuasca or me being tired or whatever the case may be. I passed out, which sucked. I blew it. But I talked to them. I said, look, I want to come out here for another night. I went back to the hotel, and I was going to have to, literally fly out the next day, which I was concerned with. It's like, wow, I'm bringing it right down to the wire. This is getting close, but I want to do this. And, we worked everything out. I brought my luggage with me. They got a shower, you got your room, everything else. But the second night, all of the anxiety, the nervousness, the fear of the medicine itself, it was gone. And the second night was absolutely magical. Because in this group, there was about 14 people. Both of my buddies came out for the second night, and almost the entire room were shamans actually sitting in on the ceremony from all over the place, and they all played a part. I mean, you had Bearheart. He was, walking around, and just, he had this leaf, and he was just, just capturing you with like energy, and he, on the second night, actually was right there with us the whole night, and everybody was sitting with the ayahuasca. So we were all there. I was on a spirit journey with actual shamans, man, doing this for themselves, right? Because I was experienced at this point. So the first dose was a full cup. Same way that it was conducted the day before, but boom, pow! I mean, it was on. Right? 45 minutes, and it was music was happening. But on this night, the shamans actually trusted us, right? They felt comfortable giving us whatever, because we all handled it very well, and we were mature about it, and we didn't go out on one of those crazy episodes that you may have seen a video on, or the video that I put on, the page that we're all on, that this video's on. So I got another half a cup. The visuals were insane. The tracers and trails from your body were insane. It was amazing. And me personally, I was sitting by the pool, and I felt like I was just moving the water, on the swimming pool. I sat there on that chair for, must have been maybe an hour and a half or something like that. And I heard this voice that came to me. I have this symbol that I'm going to study that some people say means the one, and I've never seen this symbol before in my life. And if you ask me about it, I drew it just so that I wouldn't forget it, and I put it up there. And that's another reason that I wanted to do this video, because I don't want to forget anything. There's a lot of clips, but I wanted to tell you about the hummingbird ceremony in its entirety. Once the ceremony was over, the visuals were still very heavy. I wanted to go down to the beach. I wanted to be right there next to the water, to just absorb that energy. You know what I mean? To just absorb that energy, and it made it just that more magical. Just being surrounded by nature. It was a full moon, stars were there, and my friend comes down there to the water with me, and we, this is kind of crazy because this is really funny. We thought that we saw UFOs for a minute, and it didn't end up being UFOs. I'm gonna tell you what it ended up being, but I mean, it was a good hour or so. We were just sitting there watching it. We were actually, my buddy was actually taping. I don't know how good of an image that he actually got of it, but there was this light just shooting around underneath, or like on top of the clouds. It didn't actually come out of the clouds, and it's just lights. It looked like UFOs. Come to find out, it was really funny. Ended up being a lighthouse. But it was pretty cool to actually fascinate about it for a minute. I kind of was hoping that it was aliens and they'd abduct me and get me the fuck out of this place where I think maybe I should be. But unfortunately, that's not what that ended up being. And it's a good, it was like, all the way till like 1 o'clock in the morning. The journey was going on, the experience. And then after that, it still was kicking. I mean, tracers everywhere. You felt like, the earth was moving underneath you. You were in touch with everything around you. Like, you felt connected to everything. Sounds were amplified. Energy was just funneling through me. It was pure joy. It was absolute love. And every time you do it, it's like you have even better experience, right? Because that's the one thing that I had asked the shaman before I came back the second day. I was like, because if you do like mushrooms or anything like that, consistently 2 days in a row, more often than not, you're not gonna be even close to the effects that you had the day before. But the ayahuasca's different, right? It actually gets better every time. Every time it gets better. And before I go any further, I'm going to tell you that it is a pretty horrible tasting fucking tea. It's pretty disgusting. Like, the first night, I didn't have a bottle of water with me. I kind of like, my throat, just trying to clear my throat. Because it sticks to your throat. It's a very sticky, molasses-like substance. The second night I had the water, I was washing it down. I was more prepared. I knew it was going to happen. I was experienced at this point. And, the whole time, the shaman Bearheart was literally with me and my friend. Because one of my other friends, he was on his own journey. He was actually really, really funny just to observe, doing his own thing. I couldn't have asked for cooler traveling companions, and this scenario at all. I got really lucky. So, yeah, I mean, just being by the beach and everything. So when the hallucinations actually stop, your body is still filled with so much energy. You feel so empowered. You're just soaring, right? And the tracers, and you're walking around, but just the environment that I was in, the place, the setting, everything was perfect. It all came together. And I hear that they do, the ayahuasca here in New York. I can't see myself being in a small studio or anything like that. Just taking the drug. I'm not even gonna call it a drug. Not even just taking the medicine. It just wouldn't be the same. And now that I've done it this way, I will never ever do it in any other kind of setting other than the ceremony, because the ceremony with the medicine was just phenomenal. It was absolutely amazing, and I would strongly recommend it to anybody. And I know that you're probably going to be nervous and you're going to have some anxiety. There's going to be some fear, but I'll be honest with you. When you're in this kind of setting with the shaman who are experienced and walking you through this journey, you really have nothing to fear. It just becomes this fantastic voyage, and you get to know in your mind that somebody's there with you the entire time, and that makes it perfect. And it was really cool because, they got coconut trees all over the place, They got a guy sitting there at the bar. I mean, everybody does their own thing. And you don't want to leave. You want to ask if you could just stay there, right, and contribute and learn the medicine. You don't want to come back to society again. I gotta be honest with you. This is my first day of work back in the office, and it was really, really difficult. But I took this energy with me, this great experience, and it's here now. It's here forever. It's something I'll never, never, never forget. I might, miss some of the details, but I'll never, never forget what I just went through, and it was amazing. And I do feel healed, and I do feel that I'm on a different level right now. This is something that I plan on doing again and again and again. The next one that I want to do, they have ceremonies for everything. I want to sit down with a peyote. I want to sit down with a peyote, more than anything, because my father told me this great story, God rest his soul, passed away, about, Native Americans in Phoenix, and the peyote, and it's just, the story itself makes me want to experience it also, on top of the fact that I just did this ceremony, which was so magical. I want to experience more ceremonies. I really want to get out there. I want to enjoy life, and this was another level of everything, and I'm never going to trade it for the world, and I would strongly recommend it to anybody. But yeah, they're really great. So they got breakfast out there. In the morning they take care of you. I got coconut drink. They chop it up for you. They give you a straw and they break it up, and they got this grinder, and oh man, I just can't tell you. I mean, this little documentary that I'm going to do, I hope does everything that I just experienced justice. And you get to see it the way, sort of the way I got to see it. I mean, unless you were really there, you won't. But yeah, I just you guys were curious. You wanted me to tell you that was, top to bottom, the way that it was. And as soon as, because they're still down there, my friends. As soon as everything's put together between my footage, their footage, and sounds and noises and everything else, I really hope that this video can show you somewhat where I was, how it was so magical. I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't really tape myself during the experience. It was just so intense that it was really hard for me to mess with the device, But I do have some pretty weird shit when I'm sitting there. It was pretty dark, so I couldn't really see my face, but you can actually hear, some of the shit that I was saying. It makes me laugh pretty loud right now. The water from the ocean kind of distorted it, but don't worry. I mean, just like everything else I do, this won't be the first, and definitely won't be the last really cool experience that I go out there and